Let's all pay to Long Po together. But
So how is everybody? How many people are attending, Sunny?
Long Po, 10 people online.
10.
Yeah.
It's getting less. Today was a busy day. In the morning a talk, in the afternoon a talk, and now the Zoom session.
There are many visitors today.
Yeah, there were some visitors this afternoon. Quite a few visitors. This morning somebody from Holland came. A cameraman was interested in Buddhism. So let's see. What shall we talk about? Huh? About avijja pataya sankhara. Yeah? Avijja is a condition for all phenomena to arise. Let's try to get some understanding of what we are fighting against. So we have lopa, dosa, moha. That is greed, hatred, and delusion. These are the three armies of the kilesas that we are fighting against. Everybody, greed, yeah? I mean, we like something, yeah, and we cannot let go of it, this is greed. All forms of, all forms of wanting. Dosa, anger, it's all forms, I dislike, yeah? I don't want it, I want to get rid of it. And in the end, some people, have to kill it. That is the form of dosa. Dosa, yeah. And moha, delusion. Yeah. Normally, what we see in front of us is greed and hatred. That's what is very obvious to it. These are, when you think about it, the three armies, the two armies that we see most of it, or that we have to fight, is greed and hatred. And behind it, what moves greed and hatred is moha, or delusion. I think I talked last time about it. It's the things that we really do not grasp. Yeah, it's called it's often translated as delusion, but it is the combination. It's a combination of thoughts and memories. A combination of thoughts and memories. So when we see something, when we hear something, yeah, our memory and thoughts are working together and present us with what we hear and what we see, yeah? Or what we feel and what is that. Yeah? And because our memory and our thoughts present it, we don't see clearly. Yeah? And that's what is normally referred to as delusion. Yeah? We are deluded about the things that we see, and we are deluded about the things that we hear. And this is very difficult because, the delusion, is behind greed and hatred. And what we normally see is, the things that we like and the things that we dislike, form of greed and hatred. But the mastermind behind it is avijja. Avijja, yeah, often translated as ignorance. The Lumpu Panya, I stayed in Wat Papantat, and Lumpu Panya was there. He had a better definition. He said, fundamental ignorance. I would like to describe it more as, vijja is knowing, avijja is not knowing. Yeah? So I describe avijja, the mastermind, yeah, that that directs these three armies, yeah, that we constantly fight, is not knowing, but wanting to know. Not understanding but wanting to understand. That is behind it. Yeah? I mean, there's the will, I try to explain it, there's the will, to want to know, and everybody of us knows it, we want to know, we want to understand. And that is what is driving us all the time. But what we are against it at the moment is greed and hatred. And greed and hatred are rooted in this body, and the sensation of the body, the sensation of the body that it gives us, the hearing, the seeing, the tasting, the touching, and the thinking. Yeah? That's what what gives rise to greed and hate. Yeah? We want to hear something, we want to see something, we want to taste something, or we dislike the taste of it, we dislike the touch of this, we dislike, and so on and so on. So I mean, in the investigation, what we need to do in order to overcome greed and hatred is investigate the body, that gives rise to greed and hatred. Yeah? And once we investigated the body enough, understand it completely, then greed and hatred disappears. Yeah? And we reach a state of anagami. Yeah? And then comes delusion. Yeah? Then comes this moha. Yeah? The thing that we do not really understand what is going on. And that is formed by our thoughts and memories. Nungta Mahabodha described it, sankhara as short form of thoughts, and sanya as memory, association, and long form of thoughts. So a long iteration of thoughts is sanya, and short form of thoughts, something pops up, this he calls sankhara, or he describes it sankhara. But avijja is really the mastermind behind all of it. It pushes these armies forward. And once we have battled all these three armies, the first are greed and hatred, and then we can really see and understand what delusion is. Before that, when greed and hatred is always pushed in front of us, we cannot see delusion that is behind it. That's why I describe it as the three armies, when we see the two armies of greed and hatred coming in front of us, and the ones that pushes greed and hate is the delusion that is in the back, so it is very difficult to see for us. Avijja, disappears, disappears, and that is the interesting thing, disappears in the moment we go into the path moment. If you enter Sotapanna or Sakadagami or Anagami, then this avijja disappears for a moment, and we can see clearly. We can see clearly, and we understand. For that moment, we understand and see clearly, because there is no fundamental ignorance or ignorance anymore. It is this path moment, as I explained before. Is very similar. It is very similar to Appana Samadhi, but it is not the same. Appana Samadhi gives us a preview of Nibbana, or gives you a preview, of when avijja is not there, but it is not as clear as the path moment. Path moment, Nungta Mahabodha described it as something, you have a lake that is completely covered, with what is nge?
Lilies.
What?
Water lilies.
Water lilies, you cannot see the water. You only see the plant. And then, the path moment, pushes away the water lilies, and you see the water. You see and you understand, and you know that the water is a real thing. The moment you come out of the path moment, the water lilies come back, and you don't see the water anymore. And this is that is the only time where we preach avijja. Appana Samadhi is very close to it. There are no kilesas at that moment. There is no avijja, but we don't get that clear understanding of it. So that's how these two things differ. Just for people who read the suttas, and don't or do not understand, I just want to make clear. But the thing that we are fighting at the moment, yeah, is first of all our laziness, yeah, not to get, and train our mind and samadhi. The second problem that we have is our sati, yeah, the knowingness, yeah. The moment, yeah, Lumpta Mahabor also said, that is the first time when I understood what really sati is. The moment you have sati, there is no kilesa. You see clearly at that moment. Yeah? And this sati is very important to understand, to understand how greed, how hatred, and how delusion works. Yeah? If you don't have the sati, we will not understand it. Yeah? And actually, when he describes the path, sati, yeah, he called it sati panya. That defeats greed and hatred. And then from that stage on, he calls it mahasati and mahapanya, the great sati and the great panya that can defeat the delusion, and in the end, it can defeat avijja. It's the only weapons that we have. Yeah? So we have to develop it. Yeah? Sati, the knowingness, is developed, with our samadhi. When we train our mind to stick to one point, be it the Buddha or be it the breath, knowing that the breath comes in, knowing that the breath goes out, knowing that breath is long and short, and so on and so on. And the same thing with the Buddha. Okay? So that is just a short introduction. Yeah. Now you can ask your questions if you have any. Michi, Emily, the lay people who practice here. If not, yeah, later. If not, go ahead, Sani, where? Don't see you. Yeah.
Seminary Viveka.
Where is she?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, I'm in Thailand, Saptavi Tamaran.
Yeah.
And I don't have a question, it's more, I would like to tell you that I'll be leaving Thailand on the 5th of December. I've been struggling at this temple for quite a while. I got in touch with you some weeks ago about the way Dhamma is presented in this temple.
Yeah.
And so now I've decided to go to Europe, join the Amaravati winter retreat to get my practice back together. And recently I had the chance to do a bit of a Kruba Ajahn tour here in Thailand. And I heard that it's probably not impossible to find another temple who will allow me to stay as a samaneri. So this is the plan I have. And if you have any advice, or to put it in a question, I'm still struggling with what is the right attitude towards a great Kruba Ajahn. Here the Thai people, they all have this, Luang Por, he's so omniscient. But this is not my experience. I have had some interactions with Luang Por Kanha where it was quite obvious that he doesn't understand. For instance, I'm on the autistic spectrum, that he doesn't understand autism. He mistakes it for a psychological condition when in fact it's a neurological condition. And quite often when I'm already overwhelmed, he just keeps adding, and sends me straight into meltdown.
Do you have symptoms of autism or what?
Yes, I've got Asperger's syndrome, and I'm 54 now, so I'm also going through hormone change, which made some of these symptoms a lot worse. For instance, hypersensitivity to sound, and this is something, and just getting overwhelmed with lots of people, lots of noise in this temple. And the chanting is always very loud via microphone. Sometimes, when I go to the sala, I have to wear earplugs to hear my own voice. In the morning, we have a work period, mornings and afternoons. And during that time, it's impossible to concentrate on what you're doing because they're constantly playing these Kruba Ajahn CDs at 5 a.m. and 3 p.m. and they often also have background music. And so I'm in a state of overwhelm.
I mean, how long have you been in Thailand?
How long?
How long have you been in Thailand?
I've been in Thailand for more than 10 years now.
And why didn't you look for other monasteries?
Well, I've been discouraged by some rejections. For instance, Luang Por Uthai, who's half an hour down the road, he invited me to stay, but only as a mechi.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, this is pretty much what other Kruba Ajahns are suggesting too. It's only recently I had the chance to visit Ajahn Sopa, who's a disciple of Luang Thamma and Ajahn Anand. And both of them said it's not impossible and came up with some names. And Ajahn Anand even said he would allow me to stay in a quiet branch monastery in the neighboring province in Saraburi.
There's one thing, and especially, especially for women who come from the West. I mean, why don't you ordain as a mechi? I mean, it's ego. And we have to let go of the ego. Yes. And I told you before, when I was in Germany, that is a problem. Yeah? It was also the problem with the bhikkhuni, what was her name? I can't remember,
Suchinta.
Yeah. It is your problem. Yeah? I mean, as a mechi or as a samanera, you do the same thing as the monk. Yeah? I mean, you don't have, and in Thailand you don't have an elevated status, as a samanera. Yeah? And what is the problem? You want to practice. It doesn't really matter what kind of robes you're wearing, if you're wearing white robes, or brown robes. Or?
Well, if I, for instance, if I came to a temple as a visitor, visiting samaneri, and the prerequisite to stay long term would be to change into mechi, and I really, that temple really works for me, then I might be willing to do this, but not right from the start, because so far this form has served me really well.
Yeah, but it is, but the problem is, I mean, there are good temples, Ajahn Uthai is a very good temple, yeah? I mean, he invited you to stay for a while, and you can stay there for a week and see how you feel, and if you feel okay, then you just put on the white cloth. Ajahn Sopa, the same thing, yeah? I mean, he's just a few pansa more than me, yeah? I mean, he has a big temple. But the problem is, there are big temples. There are a lot of people. Yeah? So you will have a problem. Yeah? You can go to Ajahn Suchat, that is in the south. Yeah? They are very.
Just been there.
Yeah? And I mean, if you, as a woman, I think you cannot stay up at the hill. I don't know. Yeah? Ajahn Anand is also a good teacher, yeah? But he has also a lot of people. You have to look for a temple that has very few people and very few visitors. Yeah? I mean, in this 10 years, you had the opportunity to come here, yeah, and you didn't. Yeah? We have, there are very few people here, yeah. There are very few visitors, and there's hardly anything going on. There's just practice going on, yeah, and that is already tough enough, huh? Yeah. Mechi Sunanda, Mechi Emily, yeah, that is enough. That's where you grind down on the kilesas that I was talking about it, yeah? But there's one thing, that is a problem, especially also with Germans, but also British, the British nuns. I've been to Amravati, I've been, to all these things, yeah? I know the problem, and it is ego. The conceit, yeah? The conceit that we are something, or that we are standing on the same ladder as monks, or that we are, things like that, yeah? You have to. Why do you think the Lord Buddha, refused, to ordain bhikkhunis for such a long time? Yeah. He said, I mean, it will destroy the sasana much quicker. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I told you, you are happy, and what is it, 7 years ago you wrote to me, and then said you want to come, and you never came. Yeah?
I did, because I felt you've already told me everything I need to know, and as long as I haven't put it into practice yet, I'd just be wasting your time, so I didn't come.
You're wasting my time. That the Kilesas told you that you're wasting your time practicing here. Yeah? Because you can practice here, you practice on your own, and we have nothing else to do than practice. Yeah? There is no work period. Yeah? There's one morning meal, yeah? And we don't even prepare the meal. Yeah? Sometimes if some fresh food is coming in that needs to be prepared, yeah? But that is half an hour, or what? Yeah. But that is your problem, I said, yeah, liking to do this or doing that. Yeah, that's all. And then after the meal, you have 20 hours, to practice. Huh? Nobody disturbs you. Yeah? There's no sound going on, there's just the sound of the forest, yeah? But, it's okay. I wouldn't go to Amravati, I mean, do you know what is going on in the West? Better don't go. Huh? Okay?
Well, yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'll have to leave early because we've got 2 corpses in the Salah, so I have to go and to join the funeral chanting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
Nobody? Everything clear, yeah? Samadhi, practicing samadhi, yeah? Developing sati, and then investigating this corpse, yeah? That's what we call body, yeah? Or this biological robot. Hello, Miss Missouri, what is it?
Yes, exactly. Yes, St. Louis, yes.
St. Louis. The Arch of St. Louis.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very pretty. And it's 4 a.m. I'm very wide awake.
Okay, so what is your question?
So last time you advised to focus more on samadhi to kind of balance out the practice. And I've been listening, and I found a lot of progress. And where normally I would want to investigate after entering samadhi, I just decided to see how far I can go. I found some answers to my questions that I had last time, where the Kilesas were kind of tricking me into not going so deep, and that helped me get even deeper into samadhi. And then the deeper I got, the more I felt the urge to relax or to investigate, but I just kept saying, no, just keep focusing. And after about, it must have been 2 hours of consistent, very deep samadhi, there was a collapse.
Yeah.
And everything was about to be absorbed into one point. And I knew exactly what was happening as it happened. But I have to admit, I got scared. Even though I was prepared. And it was kind of funny. I could see the fear, and I knew exactly what it was and why it was there, and it still was able to stop me. The body stopped breathing, and I almost had to manually make the body breathe, which was very interesting. I kept trying to tell myself what you advised to, whatever can go away, let it burn, and whatever stays, let it stay. But unfortunately, I suppose I gave in. And the thoughts that came up said, you're going to die. And I said, okay, if I die, I die. But again, even though I wanted to believe that, there was still some fear.
Yeah.
And basically the message that I got, the more I investigated it, was don't go too fast because there's still some things you need to do. But obviously that's just Kilesas.
The Kilesas talk.
Well, I don't want to say obviously because I need to investigate it. But
But I can tell you it's the kilesas.
yeah. right, exactly. And so they've been clouding Appana Samadhi, which is what I assumed was about to happen if I had truly jumped in. Basically, they were like, you're going to go too far on the path, and you're going to... there's some things you have to do, which I don't know if there's something true behind that, or it's just craving, or is there ever an actual reason to delay your progress on the path, or it's just it's all the games they're playing with you?
It's only the game they're playing with you. Yeah. You have to be patient about this. Yeah. I mean, don't rush it. Yeah. I mean, you have the tendency to rush things. Yeah. Just stay with the breath, and see, what is happening. Just be more interested in what is happening, because the interest can pull you without you even knowing that the breath stops. Pull you into the Appana Samadhi. Yeah. So if you're much more interested in what is actually going on, yeah. If you see fear coming up, then you have to restart the whole process, yeah, because that is really disturbing, yeah. And then you say, okay, yeah, there is fear, yeah. What is fear? How does it feel? Because we are so afraid of so many things, yeah. Then you can then start to investigate what is fear, yeah. I mean, to get comfortable with fear and see, it's just a feeling, I mean, it's tensioning up the body, it's tensioning up the heart, tensioning even up the lungs, I mean, yeah, look at it, and feel it, and then let go of it, yeah. Be much more interested. I mean, it is very important, this step is not easy to take, yeah. I mean, for me, it was the interest in what is actually happening, because I saw the mind converging into one point, and I said, wow, yeah. And then I just went into the tunnel, yeah. I wasn't even aware of all the other things that were happening. I just was interested, what is it leading towards, yeah. So that, but other people, I mean, they really, and later on, I really had to, I really had to jump into the knowingness, because I mean, once the kilesas know you, yeah, I mean, they don't let you do this anymore. Okay. So then you have to really jump, and sometimes, it works, sometimes it doesn't work, I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, just be patient, about this, okay, let's try it again, and let's try it again, and yeah. But be clear, there's nothing, I mean, you cannot go too fast, yeah. And I mean, the things will pop up. Whatever is important, I mean, whatever is important, that you deal with it right now, I mean, will pop up by itself, yeah. You don't have to look for it. It will pop up by itself, and then you deal with it, you look at it, you deal with it, and let go, and then go on, yeah.
Well, the thing that keeps coming is there's some people I can't leave behind. That somehow I have to help some people to go with me, which is a very dangerous delusion,
yeah.
It's almost like a bodhisattva vow. They're trying to convince you that is still remaining, or like something not that extreme, because I'm clearly not that. I wish I was that cool, but I'm not. But maybe like a smaller form of it, not like on such a big scale.
Yes, this is attachment to the world, yeah? Attachment to family, attachment to friends, and also a little bit about delusion that we can help other people.
Yes, I'm so special, I can help everybody and myself. I'm that awesome. Yeah.
Help yourself first, and then you can help others.
Okay, yeah, like the plane going down, you have to put the mask first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, is that a common delusion that a lot of people encounter?
Yes. I mean, very common, because we feel, somehow we feel, we feel so elevated, we feel, we understand these things, and then we see all these people, we see our own delusion in other people, and then we think we need to help them. Yeah? That's very common. But it's nothing else than conceit.
Okay.
thinking that we are better than others. Yeah? These people, yeah, if people are coming and asking for help, of course, then you help. But if they don't come and ask for help, don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, that's even worse. Is because the people in my life do feel very drawn to the Dhamma and come to me for advice. So it's building the conceit, unfortunately.
Yeah, then in this case, in this case, just do like me, just stop it for a moment, yeah, for a while. Yeah?
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm not being selfish?
No. We try to overcome self. How can we be selfish, by overcoming self, yeah? People never think about that, yeah?
That's good. The Kalasis don't like that. Okay, thank you. You've been a great help. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, next question, next person to ask.
Yeah, anyone else has questions online?
Actually, the people who were listening to the talk, did you understand what I was talking about, or was it too way off, too high? Huh? Sometimes it is clear, it is useful, to make certain things clear, what we are against up, when we practice. Yeah, that's why I try to explain it and also get some misunderstanding, with the words that we hear, with greed, hatred, and delusion, and ignorance, yeah, to get that away, and try to get a little better understanding. Yeah. Yeah.
I've also heard one definition of delusion of just the not knowing, like not having enough sati, just falling asleep kind of thing. It's more like a mundane level.
Yeah, as I try to explain, delusion is that what the mind, what memory and thought make out of things that you see, hear, and feel. Yeah. So it is not really ignorance. Yeah. The fundamental ignorance is this not really knowing what it's all about. Yeah. Yeah. That's what. When I first heard Lumpur Panya talking about this fundamental ignorance, I thought, yeah, that is much better than just ignorant, being ignorant about this or big. No, we are constantly ignorant. Yeah, so that's why you called it fundamental ignorance. Yeah, and delusion is something else. Yeah, delusion is something of what we make out of what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we touch. Yeah, because if you just see without any thoughts and without any memories coming up, then you see the real thing, yeah. But if you believe whatever the memory and association, this is a man, this is a woman, this is a tree, this is a flower, and then comes, and then from that association comes the greed and hatred. I like this or I don't like this. Yeah? Okay. Okay, go ahead. If there are no live questions, then ask the questions on the chat, yeah?
Yeah, I think I never asked the question.
Yeah. Holland.
Hi, how are you doing?
How is your baby doing?
I think it's doing fine.
Give it a lot of love and give it a lot of Buddha, yeah?
Sorry?
Give it a lot of Buddha, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so what is your question?
I had a few questions. I was seeing some improvement in just watching the breath, so that's good. Sometimes it doesn't go well, and sometimes I feel very calm and very concentrated it's just a small second. So that's good improvement. And I was asking you before about samadhi practice because some people, they use like a movement of the belly. And I asked you what is the difference between, does it bring you to one-pointedness? And you said, no, it doesn't. But I thought it was clear, but later I got confused a bit again because I was thinking about it. And I just wanted to ask you again to make it clear. Because when you focus on the breath, the breath is moving as well. It's a moving object to observe. So what is the difference between a moving belly or a moving hand and a moving...
Because you stay focused at the same point.
Just
and
at
from
the nose.
And you don't go with the upward and downward movement of the belly, you move out and move down and move out and move down, because you don't have a fixed point there. It is much easier. Why do the people use it? For instance, the abdomen, because it's easier to concentrate on something, that is not as fine as the breath, because the breath becomes finer and more detailed, but our point of concentration still stays at the point at around the nose where we can feel the breath, and then we know that the breath is moving. When you go to the abdomen and go with the movement, then you don't have one point, You go with the movement and it is easier, It is easier to concentrate, it's easier to get calm, but it's not possible to get one-pointed. One point.
For example, with the hand, because when I just focus on the hand is the object, right? It's like one point. The hand is moving, so
but the point is also moving, because the point is moving, I mean, you focus on the hand, and the hand is moving, so the point is moving. But when you stick at the tip of the nose, there's nothing moving there. It's the breath that is moving.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. That makes it more clear. Thank you. Okay. Another question was, I told you I was in a group every Tuesday, and they do first day sit for about 1 hour, and then I practice breathing or the Buddha. Combination, and then later they go walking, but still it makes me confused about what you said before as well, or what they say as well to do. And first I just try to stay with the Buddha while walking, but they walk slow, so I feel resistance because I like to walk fast to calm my mind more easy, and they walk slow, and they tell me to, for example, stay with the moving of the feet, like up, move down. And I tried that a few times as well, and actually it makes me feel comfortable somehow or calm. But I get a bit confused sometimes about what is it that I'm doing, because they talk about one-pointedness when practicing that, but then that I don't understand, because I think it's not. But they also say it's sort of vipassana, but then I get confused about what is vipassana exactly, because vipassana is just know what is happening, right?
No.
Or can you explain it to me better?
Vipassana is investigation. For investigation, you need a point of focus. Be the whole body, be it a part of the body. So you focus, just like you focus around the tip of the nose, you focus there, and you know what is going on. And Vipassana is then asking questions. What happens, if I slice it up, how does it look, If I burn it, how does it look, So you ask the chitta actually the questions, and the chitta shows you what is happening. That is Vipassana. Vipassana is not just looking, I often, I've been in the West, that's what they call, watch your breath, and they said, or watch the kilesas, watch the thoughts coming up, watch the memories coming up, and you do that for the rest of the life, and nothing will change, because you don't do investigation. Vipassana is investigation, or it's called development of wisdom, insight, insight meditation, And they think, just looking inside, with a D, not with with a T. They're looking inside, so I mean they see, but there's no wisdom coming up. Wisdom only comes up in connection with asking questions. I mean, show me the death. I mean, you look at the body. You have the body. In your view. And then you ask the Chitta, show me. How I am dying. Or one of my death. Or look. What is coming out. What is dying first. What is happening actually in death. And then the Chitta shows you. And that's how you understand. That's how you develop wisdom. So wisdom can only be developed by asking the right questions. And in the beginning we don't know what really a right question is, so we have to experiment a little bit, and see. Look at the food, that goes into the mouth, I mean, look at the whole process, I mean, you eat something very delicious, you put it on the tongue, and then you watch what is happening, when it leaves the tongue, and goes down there, goes in the stomach, and in the end comes out, And then you see, And then, you ask yourself, well, what is happening there? I mean, it's actually, your belly is a chemical factory that burns up all these things, And when you throw up, you don't want to eat it, Again. Because I mean, you feel resistant. Whatever gets in touch with the body, and that is the thing that we ask ourselves. Whatever gets in touch with the body, we don't like it, I mean, we don't like the shirt that you wear for 2 days, because it smells, You don't like the food that comes out, And you don't even want to look at it, you don't want to touch it. But the food, that is in your bowl, you easily touch it, it is not filthy. And then you put it in the mouth. I mean, you chew it up a little bit and you put it back in the hand, and you don't want to eat it. Because it's messy. So whatever comes in touch with the body, I mean, we feel it is disgusting. And that is the way how we understand, I mean, within the body, there's this greed and there's the head. We long for things, that we want, we want to put on the body, we want to put, we want to be nice, we want to smell nice, but, actually the body smells really bad, And everybody knows that, Especially when we sweat or when we eat something, that, For instance, garlic, a lot of people, who eat a lot of garlic, they really smell very bad, because it comes out, So, in these things, that is investigation, looking at the thing, looking at the food process, looking at birth, I mean, just simple, We are born, I mean, you will see it, when your daughter or when your son comes out, I mean, you will see it, it's a clump of meat, Red. A lump of meat, And then, somebody pushes it on the back, and then it starts breathing, And then life starts, And then what does it do? It has to learn, First it, learns to move, Move the body, because, it has to learn, These are things, we ask ourselves, I mean, let's go back in memory. How was it when I was in the first grade of school, How was it in kindergarten? How was it when I learned to walk? How was it when I learned to talk? Let me revisit these things, Because your memory still knows it. And then see the trouble, And that is what is developing wisdom, And then you can ask yourself, do I want to go through this again? And what is the answer? The answer is no, but I'm too lazy to.
Yep.
So that is vipassana. Asking, concentrating on one thing, be it the body or be it, just the food intake or whatever, and then asking the right questions. That develops wisdom. So what they think, they do that, they just look, they observe the breath or they observe greed coming up or likes coming up, dislikes coming up. They do that until the rest of their life and nothing will change. Because they don't understand why it's coming up. Why, in which situation it's coming up, What is the cause of this thought coming up? What is the cause of this anger coming up? Yeah? They never investigate this. They just see it coming out. Okay, it's okay. Anicca, and it's gone. Okay, and then it comes up again. Oh, anicca, it's gone. Yeah, but it will still coming up. Yeah, because we don't understand the cause of the root cause. Yeah? And that we get through vipassana, through investigation. Yeah? Okay.
Okay. Thank you for explaining.
You're welcome.
And
but with the walking meditation, it is fine, I did it, it is Mahasi Sayadaw tradition, walking very slowly. I always got very bored, so I was looking at the whole body movement, trying to concentrate on, nearly closing your eyes and concentrate just on the movement of the body. So be within the realm of the body. You can still stay with the breath, but feel the body moving. Don't, with the up and down, that it can come. It is not wrong, but it doesn't lead to one-pointedness. But it makes us calm. So there's nothing wrong with doing it this way. It helps getting
what
through.
is, can I concentrate on the whole body and
Yes.
just know the whole body moving? What
Yeah.
is it that I'm doing at that moment?
Yeah.
Is it
You will-
mindfully sort of, or
It's very, very interesting. Next time, you take a shower, and then you watch the whole body moving, Next time you wash, you hand wash something, and you watch your body movement. And then you compare this kind of body movement, washing the clothes, taking a shower, or walking, walking slowly, Why do we like certain kinds of movement? Why do we dislike certain kinds of movement? When you wash up your dishes, you don't like it, So, why do I dislike it? It's just movement of the body.
yeah.
And that's what we're going to understand. That's what you have to ask, Why do I like certain movements? It's just movement of the body. Why I dislike certain kinds of movement? It's also just movement of the body. So if you concentrate on the movement of the body, you get a better understanding. And then concentrate while you're washing up, concentrate while you take a shower, or whatever you do. When you cycle through whatever this town is you are in, I'm sure that you have a bicycle,
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the difference? Because hands are moving, body is moving, feet are moving, where's the difference? Or when you walk, to your office or whatever, Then you sit down and then you move your hands, In the end, it's all movement of the body, But some things we like and other things we dislike, That's where you see, if you don't compare these two things, we will never get a clue why we like this and why we dislike this, and what is really happening. Because that's where the delusion comes in, that tells us, this is nice, washing up dishes I dislike, it is mean, it is low, somebody else should do it, but I do the same movements, when I, for instance, cook what I like, You understand?
Yeah, I practiced this before because a monk told me the same thing you told me now, but then I just
Forgot.
got back to something else.
We always forget the important things, and keep concentrating on the unimportant. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. I had a question more. I'm sorry, I will try to make it fast a bit. I had one question about sati, because as far as I try to understand, to make it more clear, you can practice sati by practicing samadhi, but sati is like knowing whatever comes up in the mind, right?
No.
Not just focusing.
No. Knowing whatever we are putting our concentration, whatever our object is doing, not whatever comes up in the mind. So when we concentrate on the breath, then we know every detail about the breath, we don't, we don't know what, we don't want to know what is coming up. You will know it anyway, but you don't concentrate on it. You concentrate on the knowingness of the breath or on the knowingness of the Buddha. Yeah.
Yeah, that's samadhi, right? But I said sati.
Yeah, that is sati. The knowingness about the object, samadhi is concentration.
Yeah.
And that's what, we concentrate on one thing, yeah? But most of the time, there are so many things going on while we concentrate on one thing, yeah? So we want to know what is going to happening with the things that we concentrate on. That is sati.
Okay, I will listen it a few times again before I really understand. Okay, thank you.
I think last time I explained a little bit about sati, I explained it 3 or 4 times because it will never be clear, yeah?
I guess I'm not there yet.
Okay?
Okay. Last question is, I told you before I have a lot of suicide around my family and my environment. And right now, the girlfriend of my brother, she 2 days ago, she tried to commit suicide and went to the hospital later. And I know I can't help anyone, of course, because I'm not better or whatever than anyone, but she wants help, but doctors and medicine doesn't really help, and at least I don't want her to die, of course. Do you have any suggestion on what might be helpful for her?
Listen to her, what she's saying. She must have a reason why she wants to kill herself. Yeah? So, but listen not with your ears and not with your mind, listen with your heart what she is really telling you. Yeah? And then, when we understand with your heart, then you can help her. Yeah? If you try to understand, yeah? We never say the truth to other people, yeah? We always, try to manipulate, whatever we say. We want to be in a good light, or some people want to be in a bad light, yeah? Huh? So, but the heart actually tells us the truth, yeah? So when we listen to what the heart is saying, it's not easy, but we can learn it. And then we understand, and then we can help. Yeah? Just listen to it. For most of the people, if somebody really intensely listens, yeah, without, making interference and say, don't interrupt her, just listen. That helps most of the people very much, yeah. Because, in your society, in our society, especially in the West, nobody listens to somebody else. They all have to say something, Somebody says a word, and then we instantly jump in, and then we don't listen, yeah. It's a quality we can develop, and if you start to listen with your heart, you understand on a much deeper level what is actually her problem. Yeah? And when you know what her problem is, and then you can help her. Yeah. But be careful, helping. Also, listen to the reaction of the person when you try to say something. Yeah. If she shuts off, stop. Don't go further. Yeah. As long as she opens, she will hear it. Yeah? The moment she closes down, stop. Yeah? Don't say anything more. It's a skill. It's a skill. Yeah? Okay?
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Hello, Ajahn.
Yeah?
I've been making good progress on my samadhi and my sita.
Yeah?
And there are some days that in the morning I notice in my morning meditation that there are certain kilesas that are coming very strong.
Yeah?
One example related to sensual pleasures.
Yeah.
Throughout the day I can see a constant influence of the kilesas trying to get in, and so the only place that I find some refuge is in, or some way to avoid them, is in my samadhi.
Yeah.
And the moment that I try to investigate I feel like I'm gonna fall off, and I'm gonna fall to them. So maybe a lack of confidence, but is that potentially a sign that my samadhi is not strong enough, and I should continue with my breathing? Because that's the only place where I find that I'm at peace, and that the kilesas don't have any influence.
That is true, yeah, because when you are really entering samadhi and there's no more thoughts and no more memories popping up, then the kilesas don't have any power over you, because they cannot suggest anything that you do, or they cannot ingest fear, or they cannot ingest worries, or they cannot ingest the future or the past. Yeah, you're free. Yeah. You have to see, in the beginning, investigation is not easy, In investigation, it needs a lot of thoughts, yeah? And of course, with the thoughts also, also the kilesas also come in, yeah? So, if your samadhi is not very strong, yeah, then your investigation will not bear very many fruits. But what you can do in investigation, investigate a little bit about your life, yeah? Just like I said, the person before, yeah? When you were born, yeah? What happened, I go back in the memory, I pull back in the memory, and see when you were born, when you're learning to walk, when you're learning to talk. It's a form of investigation. Or food digestion, or whatever, or the next time you eat some food, differentiate the 7 tastes of this food, yeah? It's a different mixture, there are 7 basic tastes, and then differentiate. That's already investigation, yeah? And you might be able to concentrate much easier on that, yeah, in the beginning than on taking the body apart, yeah? Okay?
Thank you. Carlos?
You woke up? 3 a.m. in the morning?
Actually, I think I missed the time change. It recently changed, and I didn't consider that 1 hour for.
Yeah.
Time difference or something like they call it something like saving something.
Okay.
It seems that fact just slipped my mind. Sorry.
It's okay.
Bante, I want to ask you something. I've been editing my life for a few years to become a renunciant to go forward. I'm getting closer now. But anyway, part of that training and that preparation is celibacy. I've been able to be celibate for, I don't know, about 6 years now.
What is terrible to integrate?
Celibacy?
You just...
Like that?
Yeah, what you just said, I didn't understand. What is it difficult to integrate?
No, I've been practicing celibacy for about 6 years now.
Okay.
And it's been hard, but I've been successful so far. But in my dream, I get lots of attacks from that. So most of the time, I'm able to gain conscious and not do anything. But some other times I just I just fall for it.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much of a reflection of our state of mind is that in our dream?
You don't really have any power in your dreams, yeah? If you wake up from your dreams, and you're with your, with all your sensual desires, and you are half awake, you probably can control it a little bit, but within your dream you cannot control anything. Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, even if in your dream, a woman is riding on top of you, boops, you come, and that is okay, because you cannot control it. Yeah. And that is imagination, or it can be even, from your previous lives, just an occurrence, So, but in this half-wake dream, it's also very difficult, to control something. If you raise up, if you pull yourself up, when you see, something is coming up, pull yourself up, and sit down, then it is much easier to control. But you really have to push, and most of the time we don't want. Yeah. It's okay, yeah. The more body investigation, the more body investigation you do, the more you see the loathsomeness of it, the less it becomes, yeah. But, it's still, it's all our life has haunted us, so, yeah, just take it, yeah. Just be aware of it, don't fall for it, and, yeah. And say, okay, next time I won't fall for it, yeah. Prepare yourself. This battle I lost, okay, yeah. There's nothing you can do, yeah. This battle I lost, but the next battle I try not to fall for it, yeah. That's all what you can do.
Yes, sometimes when I fall in my dream and I feel, like suffer, I feel bad because of it. But I try to look at that side as you are saying. I cannot control my dreams, so I'm doing my best. But most of the time I'm able to gain conscience before I do anything.
Yeah.
And recently, like a few nights ago, it was strange because I was having that problem. I was confronting in my dreams with a really beautiful and exotic woman, very desirable. And for some reason, I asked her what was her name. And she gave me this card with 3 letters. And the first letter was PRA, like pra, like monk in Thailand.
Yeah.
And immediately I woke up like, oh, wow. So I wonder, is that something that, I don't know, a recourse from my subconscious, or it could be like I'm getting like help from, I don't know.
You can. It is very possible, yeah. If you live not really directly in the city, if you live somewhere out, there are some devas, who are attracted by your celibacy, or attracted towards your practice, and then they start to help you, yeah. So sometimes they come and, tell you something. But be careful, there are also beings, they are also deluded, some of it, might be true, some of it is not completely true, yeah, but they try, try the best thing, yeah. Yeah, that does happen, yeah. Yeah. That some beings, come, and talk to you, because, you met them in your past lives, maybe you were friends in your past life, maybe you were husband and wife in your past life, I don't know, yeah.
Okay, Bhakti, thank you very much for your time and your answer.
Yeah, okay, welcome.
Let me read the Indonesian and translate Long Paul's answer.
You can read Indonesia, huh?
Hendrik helped to translate it to English.
Okay.
Yeah, so first question. If one of our family members is seriously ill, and the doctors say that he needs to use a life aid support, but because of the cost of it, the family cannot provide the life aid support, and the patient died because of it, does this count as an act of killing? No.
Just simple no. If a person cannot live without life support, it is not killing. Especially if you don't have the money. If you have the money, it's a waste of money most of the time. Yeah. So don't even worry about it. Next question.
Should I translate first, Danny?
Give
What?
a quick translation.
Who is that?
Okay, so,
Hendrik?
Hendrik.
Yes. Longko menjawab itu bukan karma buruk, karena bila seseorang sudah memerlukan alat bantu, kemungkinan dia juga bila kita memberikan alat bantu hanya menambah biaya.
Okay. If we sterilize our dog or cat with intention to decrease birth, because their birth results in a lot of suffering when they are stranded on the street, Does this action count as bad karma?
Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah,
When they
so
sterilize
if we
their pets,
sterilize
is it
the
bad
dog
karma?
or a cat with the intention to decrease their birth, or decrease them giving birth, because they will land on the streets and there'll be like stray cats and dogs. Does this action count as bad karma?
If you sterilize dogs and cats, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't think so. Yeah. If you kill them, then of course it's bad karma. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so translate a bit. So Ajahn tidak berpikir bahwa adalah karma buruk bila mensteril kucing atau anjing. So it's not bad karma to sterilize them, Ajahn.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
Next question.
Somebody talking on their phones. It's like 2 hours.
If we know we owe someone money, but we cannot remember the amount that we owe them, and the person we borrowed the money from also forgot the amount they lent us, what should be done? Can I dana the money in their name, and I consider my debt repaid to them?
I mean, give them the amount that you think you borrowed from them, and give some amount, in their name to a monastery or to a monk or to some good organizations. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't remember, if you don't remember, I mean, it is very difficult. So I mean, yeah, there's no debt actually, and it's not bad karma. So just do, give him some, and donate some in his name. Yeah, and then this should be really good enough. Okay?
Okay, jadi translate. Jadi kita kembalikan senilai uang yang kita ingat, ya, dan kita juga kenakan untuk biara ataupun membantu melewati organisasi atau hal-hal baik lain.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, last question in Indonesian. I read an article on Facebook, and it says that after 1,000 years of the Buddha Parinibbana, there's no one who can attain Arahant. Is that so?
No. Simple, no. Arahantship is always there. Yeah? It has nothing to do with time and space and occasion. Yeah. Okay, translate.
Ini tentunya tidak, ya, secara pasti, karena arahat tetap ada di sana, tidak ada kaitannya dengan waktu dan tempat.
And I mean, add to it, I mean, now it is 2,500 years after the Parinibbana of the Lord Buddha, and in Thailand there have been more than 100 arahants. So, I mean, it just proves everything what Facebook says is wrong.
Dan hari ini 2.500 tahun setelah Buddha Parinibbana, dan di Thailand sekarang ada lebih dari 100 arahat sekarang. Is it still alive? Or let's assume, is the arahant still alive, or is just the total of the arahant?
I mean, my own teacher was an arahant. Lumpu Man was an arahant. Lumpu Sao was an arahant. Lumpu Chia was an arahant. Lumpu Wen was an arahant. Lumpu Chao was an arahant. Lumpu Khao was an arahant. I mean, there's so many arahants around. Yeah. Now they are all dead. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
So
Actually, I got one question. When I meditate and then when the thought come up, I used to say to myself, I will throw this thought away. But suddenly I think that when I want to throw the thought away, that's supposed to be I don't like, so it's like a dosa. like lopa dosa.
No.
So I change. I just like I come back.
No. Just say not interested. When a thought comes up, just say not interested. Yeah, it's the same thing as throwing the thought away. Yeah, it's not bad karma. Yeah. And it's not dosa as well. Yeah, we're just not interested. I mean, all your life, I mean, if something happens and you were not interested, you were not looking, it doesn't bother you. But when you looked, it bothered you. Yeah. So we turned our eyes away from it, whatever bothers us. Yeah, we don't see it. Yeah. Yeah. Most of the people live like this. Yeah, they don't see, all these horrific things that happen in the world. Yeah? They don't want to see it. They look away. Yeah, and that's the same thing you do with your thoughts. Yeah, you don't suppress them. If you suppress them, then they will come back with much more energy. Yeah, just say not interested, and then go on with your Buddha. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
So. Any more questions?
Paul, there are a few more, but do you want to keep it for next time? Or there's about 5 more questions.
Yeah, I would say keep it for next time. Yeah, we can make one. I mean, because the end of next month is. Let's do it next month. But in the beginning of the month. Yeah. Just like around the 10th, because towards the end there's too many things going on, people don't have time, some people preparing for Christmas, others for New Year, whatever, yeah. So let's make it at the beginning, the beginning of the month, around the 10th or the 9th, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, sure, will do.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let's close it down. I mean, today was a very busy day for me, yeah. So and tomorrow is also a busy day, yeah. So I wish everybody well, I mean, practice as much as you can every day, without fail, yeah. And be patient, I mean, not every day is a good day, It goes up and down, our practice, the results of our practice. Some days it's very good, we get very calm, other days it is not. So we just say, okay, yeah. Everything is changing, anicca, anatta, dukkha. Yeah. If we don't attach to the results of our practice, I mean, we can be happy, yeah, every time. Yeah. Yeah. Because if we do, if we practice, yeah, if it is hard, if the kilesas constantly come and bother us, as long as we practice, we do some good. Yeah? Sometimes it's easier. Yeah? There's less kilesas, or the kilesas are less powerful, so it's easier for us to get in calm. Sometimes it's very difficult. Every moment we have to fight for it, but that's where we learn. Yeah? So remember, I mean, when it is easy, we learn very little. When it is very difficult, we learn a lot. Okay. Have a nice day, or have a nice night or evening or whatever, yeah. And I see you next time.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul, for the talk and answering the questions. Pay respects to Paul. Done. Okay. Good night, Paul.
Yeah, good night. Yeah, and Sani, don't forget to practice as well, yeah?
Yes, God.
You're coming in January, yeah?
Yes, coming.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night. How's your practice?
It's good, but it's hard.
Yes. Don't worry. I mean, everybody goes through the same thing, yeah? I mean, even for Lungta Mahabodh, sometimes it was very difficult. He said, I mean, getting into Apana Samadhi, sometimes he had to struggle for 11 hours sitting. I mean, his whole body was burning up, before he got into that. Yeah? And sometimes it was easy. Yeah? So, I mean, go on. Yeah. What?
When I try to meditate, especially on Shakaman, I feel kind of myself setting autopilot because my body is working and I'm seeing my thoughts and this kind of thing. Is it sati or difficult to?
It's a form of sati, you know. But at that moment, you know, I mean, just check if you are with the Buddha or with the breath. If you concentrate on the breath, then it's fine, then it's okay, yeah. And then the knowingness, I mean, the knowingness expands, you know. I mean, in the beginning it is only around the breath, you know, but the more we get concentrated on the breath, the knowingness, you know, becomes broader and broader and broader, yeah. But the moment you switch to one of the things that you know, I mean, your samadhi is gone.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I was kind of maybe I practiced some yoga kind of thing before, so I enjoy it. So
yeah, be careful not to switch. You know, as long as you stay with the Buddha or with the breath, you know, it is fine. Yeah, yeah, and then don't worry too much about, because this knowing that, you know, if you start to know too many things, you know, you get easily distracted. Yeah, yeah, then just go back. Yeah.
And then the other thing is kind of, I am in my Sri Lanka most of the time. My teacher didn't encourage us to go samadhi and practice, and I still have kind of fear and something, because last time I kind of got crazy. I didn't know what was going on. So you
only, yeah, I mean, you have to remember one thing. When we go and observe the Buddha or observe the breath, and there's no thoughts, we cannot go crazy. Yeah. We can only go crazy if we cannot stop thinking.
Yeah. I follow the thoughts and it's
that is completely wrong.
Yeah. It says something like this and then.
Yeah. No. Don't believe. First of all, don't believe the thought. Yeah. When you see, you know, I mean, what you can say, you know, there's a thought, and then go back to the Buddha or go back to the breath. There's a thought, go back to the Buddha, go back to the breath. Yeah. Don't get interested in any thought or any memory that pops up, yeah, because that leads us out, you know, and then thoughts are coming, another memory is coming, and then it's a train, yeah. Now you have to stop it, and if you can stop it, you cannot get crazy. 100%. Yeah? People who are crazy are people who cannot stop thinking. Okay, enough.